So what I'm going to start to do is to start working on the desktop design activity. You know, it can be a desktop organizer, it could be a desktop clock, nameplate, decorative sign, something like that. I want to start off with as usual, my new. I want to always go to my standard IPT. And then what I want to do is go to my start sketch, click my XY plane, and then I want to start utilizing the what I have available. Now remember, you know, what our goal here is to create a product that will give more value to our, you know, material that we're given. I'm given 2 pieces of wood. One is 4 inches by 6 inches by 3/4. The other is 3/4 by 2 by 8 inches. So we want to try to configure it into something that creates more value. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a clock. So I'm going to start off with my rectangle for my backboard, and I want to make this so that it's 6 inches. Remember, if we get lost, we want to go home, find ourselves, and then by 4 inches. Then I want to finish my sketch, and I want to extrude it to 3/4 of an inch, because that's going to be my depth of my material. And I'm going to say OK. And then my material that I want to use for that, I'll just use wood. Now that I have my backboard done, what I want to do is I want to put a new sketch on this face. We'll project our geometry, and I want to cut a recess for the clock. So if I take my mouse and I hover over the edge here, I see this turns green. Green means that we're in the center. And if I go over here and hover, you know, that turns green there. So I want to put my circle, my hole, or recess rather, right in the middle. So I'm right in the middle here. I'm going to click, draw my circle. I want to dimension that. What we said is the clock hole needs to be 1 7/16 of an inch. So I'm just going to put in 1 space 7 slash 7/16, and then say OK. I want to finish my sketch, and what I want to do with this is I want to extrude, select my profile, I want to cut it, and I want it to go in half of the depth. So half of 3/4 of an inch is 3/8 of an inch. And then what I want to do is I want to save it. So I want to save as, and what I'll do is I'll call this my clock back, and I'll call it 2, and I'll save it. So I have the back done. Let's start the base. So I'm going to go to New, Standard IPT. I want to go to my XY plane, and I want to draw the base. The base for mine is going to have a width of 8, a height of 3/4, so 8. Can't see where I am, so I'm going to go home. My height is 0.75 or 3/4 of an inch. I want to finish my sketch, and then it has a depth of 2 inches. Now there's my base. I want to change my material. Let's make it into walnut. What I also want to do is, rather than having these sharp angles on the top here, I want it a little bit more decorative. So I'm going to use my chamfer tool, and I want it to be a 1/4 inch chamfer. So now it's asking me to select my edges. I want to select this edge, all the edges on the top. I want to apply it. And now what I have is I have my base. So I'm going to just quickly go and do a save as, and I'm going to call this clock base 2. Save it. Now that I have my backboard, I have my base, I want to go to my Inventor assembly. So Inventor IAM. I want to go to place. I want to go to my base 2. I want to bring that in. Say OK. And then I want to place my backboard. Okay. So OK. And at this point, I just want to bring it in. Now, once we have these, I want to fully constrain the parts together. I want to make it really one thing. So I'm going to take and I'm going to start off with a mate command. I'm going to mate the bottom of that backboard to the top of that base, apply it. Then what I want to do is I want to flush this side of the backboard to this side of my base. And what I want to do is get that in the center. So what we said is this is 8 inches, this is 6 inches, 8 minus 6 is 2. We want to divide that space evenly, divide it by 2, so 2 divided by 2, that's 1 inch. So our offset for that is going to be 1 inch. And I want to apply it. So now, what I have, if I look at this, with that mate, I mated the top to the backboard to the base, and then what I did is I also took, with that flush, I mated the backboard to the side. I offset it, so now that's in the center. The only other thing I need to do is I need to offset this front to back. So to do that, we're going to use the exact same idea where we're going to take and we're going to flush this backboard to this base, and then I need to offset. Well, what do I need to offset? Well, what we decided to do is we decided to take the difference between the depth of the base and the depth of the backboard. The depth of the base is 2 inches, depth of the backboard is 3/4 of an inch. So 2 minus 3/4, or 2 minus 3/4 is 1 1/4. Half of 1.25 would be 5/8. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and offset it 5/8 of an inch. I want to apply it, and then what I want to do is I want to save it. So right now, if I grab this, everything's all locked in. Again, I want to make sure I fully save it. You want to save it in your desktop. You want to save it in your on your N drive, on your flash drive, wherever we can save it, so that we will not lose it. Lock assembly 2, and we'll save it. What we'll do next is talk about putting it on our paper and on our title block and